Hello and welcome back to another episode of Things That Are Different in Canada. Just a reminder that this is my experience having moved here from South Africa to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. In each episode, I aim to do 5 differences and sometimes I throw in a bonus one. In today's episode, I'm going to start with a bonus one. Alright, so a new experience for me in Canada. A couple of days ago, my neighbor over there left his lawnmower on the lawn. It's been like 4 days, and it's still there. Now, in case it wasn't clear, what I mean by that is someone other than the owner of that lawnmower has not moved it. And that is a bit of a new experience. All right, but I don't want to be that person who jokes about the crime in South Africa. We all know the crime is higher in South Africa than it is in Canada. That's not new to anybody. But what I do want to say is when you've lived in a country that has higher crime in general, you wouldn't leave your lawnmower out there as a precaution. Having lived in a country for so long that you take precautionary steps to protect your stuff, it was just a bit weird to see that my neighbor is just leaving it out there. But the reason I made that a bonus one is that's going to take us straight into the official first difference for today's video. And that is that I can see the lawnmower because most of the houses, I don't want to say all, but I've rarely experienced a difference in this. Most of the houses don't have front fences or gates, which is also even more surprising that the mower is still there because it's just sidewalk, grass, pathway, house. Sometimes people's garage doors are, at the front of their house, or sometimes it's at the back. But the point is, there are very rarely have I seen it where there are fences for the front part of the house. All right, number 2 difference for today is drive-through ATMs. We moved here in October last year and very quickly it became cold. So the first time that we had to draw money from an ATM, it was from a drive-through ATM. And it was quite nice, given that it was cold outside, to just drive up to the ATM, open up your window, do all the things, get your money, and drive on, and not have to get out of your car. Next difference for today is trucks, not bakkie. Now, in South Africa, if somebody said to me that they are going to be driving their truck, what I will picture in my mind is those really big things that you're gonna be like transporting some kind of goods or cattle, and that you have a special truck license to be driving your big truck with a couple of more wheels and much larger. Here, if someone says they're driving their truck, they are referring to a bakkie. But actually, here, I guess this is another bonus one, the bakkies or trucks are particularly large. Like, I'm pretty sure that they're so big that in South Africa, if these cars were on the road, someone can correct me, I don't know that much about cars, I would assume that you would need a special kind of license to drive them. I was a little nervous to discuss this one because I'm really not very good at cars. But in South Africa, the most frequent bakkies that I would see would be like the Ford Ranger or the Toyota Hilux. Where here, I think we are more likely to see the Ford F-150 and the Toyota Tacoma or the Toyota Tundra, I think it is. Anyway, I don't know car names well, but I know that the trucks are bakkies, but just really big, and that is a new experience for me. Moving on to the second last one for today's video, and that is that I had to register my pets and get a pet license for Mila and Mufasa. All right, they're actually still lying here because I haven't bothered to file them. They are referred to as animal license certificate, and then they came with a little tag that you can put on their collar. So I went online to the City of Calgary website and I registered my pets and I paid a fee and then I received their license. When registering them, I did have to enter some information like their microchip information, but thankfully 8 years ago me saved the receipt from when one of my cats got spayed, because I also had to give proof that they are spayed / neutered, and one of them, it doesn't appear in the book. So thankfully I had a receipt to show that, because I think if they're not, it said you have to go to court or something to make an affidavit or make a formal statement that they are spayed or neutered. So thankfully I did not need to do that. And then the final one for today, I decided to end today's one with a cultural one. This one we saw loads of jokes about, and that is the whole thing of Canadians holding doors for people for a long time. So the jokes are always like there's a door on the other side of the parking lot and somebody's holding it for you and you have to like kind of run for like 3 minutes minutes to get to the door because they're going to hold that door for you. Not everything you see on social media is true, but this one has in fact also been our experience. It has been our experience that there's a culture of holding the door for people, and sometimes you do need to hurry up a little to get to the door because the person is holding it from some distance. I've experienced this to be quite a nice, kind gesture, especially when I'm carrying Elba around when people are opening the doors for me. And if you're watching this and you know why this is a cultural experience, I'd love to know. Ian and I were discussing why this could possibly be part of the culture. I mean, it could just be a nice, kind, polite gesture. Or what we were thinking is that maybe because of the weather here, because of the cold, doors are often closed, like shop doors, where in South Africa, those doors would typically be open unless there was particularly bad weather on that day. Then in South Africa, there would be like a sign on the door to say, closed on account of weather, we're open, come in. So I don't know. You can let us know in the comments below if you think that our rationale is somewhat correct in terms of the culture of opening doors here in Canada. But that has been our different cultural experience. Thank you so much for joining me and Elba for today's video of 5 things that, plus some bonuses, that I experience as different living here in Calgary, Canada.